Alright, so this is just kind of a quick PSA for you guys and for anybody in the future. Do not be this person, okay? Do not do this because, as I've said before, I don't care if I win or lose a battle. I upload a battle whether I think it's good or not. If I get 6-0'd, I'm not going to upload that because that's not a good battle. If I 6-0 somebody, I'm not going to upload that because that's not a good battle. Like, I don't care if it's a 3-0, whether I win or lose, if it's a back and forth really good match, I'll upload it regardless. Do not do this because anybody else who does this in the future, I'm just going to block. I'm not blocking this person. I'm just saying this right now just because he's been a long time subscriber. I still plan to upload the video. Just do not do this stuff. I have other videos. I have other battles. Do not be this person, okay? Thank you. Roll the intro. ¿Qué pasa, YouTube? How's it going, everybody? Got for you guys today another Wi-Fi battle, and I want to say thank you guys for the great support on the recent Wi-Fi battles. Thank you for liking and for answering the question of the day. Really appreciate all of your guys' support. So of course, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button down below. And this was against Sandape, a match that I got off of my stream. Now, if you notice from his team, it looks like a Trick Room team, right? Well, when I was doing this match live on stream, I didn't piece that together because, as you're about to see, Carbink is going to end up going for the Trick Room turn 1. Now, I did not even know Carbink could learn Trick Room. Like, I've faced maybe 2 Carbinks since Sun and Moon has come out, and I never really saw it in X and Y enough to know what it exactly carries all the time. So when he got Trick Room up here, this kind of threw me for a loop because you're gonna see that this matchup is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So he's gonna end up going for the explosion here after getting up his rocks, which is fine. He is gonna be able to break the focus sash on my Mamoswine, which does kind of suck, but I managed to waste a couple turns of his Trick Room, but he does still have free reign to bring something in to potentially revenge kill me, as he ends up bringing in his WiShiWashi here. Obviously, I do not want to leave in my Mamoswine because I definitely still have use for it later in this match, and my best switching to WiShiWashi is going to be my Slowbro because I am running a lot of special defensive E's and I'm already physically defensively bulky. I don't know if I said that sentence right, but I have a lot of high physical defense. And this is actually Mega Slowbro, not regular Slowbro, because it wasn't until like maybe a few days ago that I knew that you could actually use Mega Slowbro in pre-Pokebank. So I've been really trying to get a decent match with Mega Slowbro because it's a Mega that you don't really see often. So he turns out to have the U-turn and gets off a pretty good amount of damage on my Slowbro as he ends up bringing in the Magearna. I should have definitely gone for the Scald. Then again, the fact that WiShiWashi could learn U-turn kind of escaped my mind because I saw him go for a special move instead of going for a physical move. So I knew that if he did want to stay in to try and hit me with another offensive move, I could take it, then hit him up with the Psyshock as he goes for the Trick Room here on my switch into the Marowak. This is actually pretty good for me because Magearna can't really do anything to my Marowak. Plus, I actually have Protect on this Marowak, so I will be able to stall a turn of Trick Room every other turn, or even if he switches out on the turn that I do Protect, I can then Protect on that Pokemon that he switched into because my Protect would have failed the previous turn, stalling out an extra turn of Trick Room. So that's going to be really handy for me in this match as I go for the Will-O-Wisp, expecting him to want to switch out into the WiShiWashi. I do unfortunately miss. Also, there was a chance that maybe he was going to stay in, so I could have burned the Magearna, and getting off that residual damage on the Magearna would have been pretty great. As I go for the Protect here, not really worried about what this WiShiWashi wants to do to me. I just want to stall out these Trick Room turns, and that's kind of why this battle is a little bit long, because of me protecting and then grassy terrain from my Tapu Bulu. So expecting him to just go for another water type move here or go for the Earthquake again, I am going to switch into my Assault Vested Tapu Bulu, which even if he wanted to predict this and went for the Ice Beam, I would have been able to eat that up. But he does make the better play in going for the U-turn, knowing that I wouldn't want to leave in my Marowak against this WiShiWashi because I did switch into my Slowbro on it earlier in the match. As he U-turns into the Magearna, I am Assault Vested, as I said, and even though I am out of my max attack and we are in grassy terrain, 1, I do not want to take Flash Cannon, and 2, I'm very positive that a Wood Hammer is not going to be able to knock out the Magearna at nearly full HP. So I am going to be forced to switch out here into the best thing that I have to combat this Magearna, which is my Marowak. Unfortunately though, my Marowak doesn't have any fire stab move outside of Will-O-Wisp because it's Shadow Bone, Protect, Toxic, and Will-O-Wisp, a set that I actually really like because it's nice to be able to burn certain things and then you can Toxic bulkier walls like Gastrodon or Slowbro or WiShiWashi, I guess, if you wanted to wear it down over time. So he is going to switch out here on my predicted offensive move, most likely thinking that I would go for the Flare Blitz, but no, I do end up going for the Will-O-Wisp again, just on the off chance that he did stay in, because if I'm not mistaken, Magearna can learn Shadow Ball, so if he wanted a Shadow Ball, I should have been able to live one, then I could have burned him with the Will-O-Wisp and then protected again to stall out another turn of Trick Room. As he did bring in the WiShiWashi, I do manage to hit this burn, so it didn't really matter too much that I missed the earlier one, although I guess I could have gone for the Shadow Bone here, although maybe I would have gone for the Toxic. Either way though, I'm in a pretty good spot where I can just safely go for the Protect, not worried about anything except he has the Z water move, and for those of you who may not know, Protect does not fully protect you from Z moves. The Z move still does 25% damage to you even if you go for the Protect. So I am able to live the Hydro Vortex, which is really great, but at this point Marowak has taken way too much damage, and if I switch it back into Stealth Rocks, I'm probably not going to be able to live one Flash Cannon, let alone two Flash Cannons from the Magearna. So this is kind of a problem. So I am going to be forced to switch out here in hopes to maybe be able to gain back enough HP on my Marowak later in the match, especially if I am able to have the Grassy Terrain up. I'll gain back 12% HP every turn. So after Protect, I'll gain back 24% of my HP, making my Marowak be at higher HP obviously to be able to still check and keep that Magearna intact. So at bay, sorry. So I do end up switching directly into my Slowbro here, not really worried about what this WiShiWashi wants to do. If he did want to go for the U-turn, he is burned, so he's not going to be doing entirely too much damage to me. And because he's kept switching in Magearna on my Slowbro, I am going to make the play here and go for the Scald, hoping to maybe get a burn. That way I could mitigate this thing's leftovers and make it a little bit easier for me to beat 1v1. So there is a chance that he's going to set up Trick Room here, or he may go for the Floral Cannon or the Volt Switch. So either way, I'm going to take this chance to go for the Slack Off because I don't want to sack off my Marowak just yet on the off chance that he did go for the Trick Room like he does here. Now because I went before him, I'm thinking that he should be able to outspeed me in Trick Room, but I find out later that Slowbro is actually, I think, a little bit faster than Magearna, and the reason why I went first was because Trick Room has like -7 priority anyways, and Magearna, even at minus speed with 0 speed IVs, is still decently fast because I've used a Trick Room Magearna myself before. So I do switch into my Marowak here, just expecting him to want to go for the Volt Switch, or if he really wanted to, he could have gone for the Floral Cannon. And because I will be able to go for the Protect here, I can stall out an extra turn of the Trick Room, which is going to be really good for me because that's going to allow me to get a switch into something else that can hit him hard if the Trick Room is gone. So he does end up trying to go for the Floral Cannon there, probably not wanting to risk Flash Cannon not knocking me out, and on the off chance that he did want to try and switch out here, I don't go for the double Protect and I instead try and go for the Toxic, expecting him to maybe want to try and bring in the Porygon 2, but he does end up going for the safe Floral Cannon, knocks me out, and now he's only at -1 instead of -2 because of his Soul Heart, which is a little bit annoying. And then he's also brought back up the full HP, but because he is at -1 special attack, I will be able to bring in my Slowbro here, and as you see, I am able to outspeed him, and I'm going to hit him with the Scald in hopes to maybe be able to burn him. Unfortunately though, that does not happen. He is going to go for the Volt Switch on now into his Porygon 2, which could be a little bit annoying if he has Toxic, but normally Trick Room Porygon 2s don't tend to carry any type of status move, and they have Trick Room, Recover, and 2 offensive moves. So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna stay in here and go for the Calm Mind, thinking that at +2, I should be able to take on anything he wants to switch in here. Even though he does have the Vikavolt, I'm thinking well, I'm at +2 SPDEF, right? I'm a slow bro, I got a lot of special defense EVs, and I should be able to live anything that he wants to go for. But as you're about to find out, I was sadly mistaken, and he's going to end up nuking me with the bug buzz, and that is really bad because my win condition was slow bro. And if I had Mega Evolved, I might have been able to live because then I would have got the boosted SPDEF from Mega Slowbro, and then that way I could have gone for at least a Side Shock to knock him out or put him in range of where E-Speed could have finished him off. Unfortunately, even Banded Zydoge is not enough to beat Vikavolt, but because I did save my Mamoswine, I can bring it in here and I will be able to safely go for the Ice Shard because Vikavolt is in range of where it's gonna get knocked out by Stealth Rocks anyways, so he had no real reason to switch out here as I'm able to finally get rid of that giant threat. I am in a really bad spot right now. So in comes the Porygon 2. My hardest hitting move to get off any damage on this P2 is going to be the Earthquake. Plus, I know it's not going to knock him out, and he most likely will just take this chance to try and get up the Trick Room again, which he does do. And I don't have anything on my team that has knockoff, which really sucks. So he's going to go for the Tri-Attack here. I really thought that this would actually knock me out, but I am able to live. Luckily, he doesn't burn me, and I will be able to get off a little bit of extra damage with the Earthquake. And then the following turn, if he did go for the recovery here, he would have just been stalling out his own Trick Room turns, which is why I'm guessing he went for the aggressive play and going for the Tri-Attack, which is now going to allow me to get a free switch into my Tapu Bulu and get the grassy terrain back up, and I will be able to hit something extremely hard with the Wood Hammer or the Horn Leech, which I actually do end up going for the Horn Leech on the off chance that he wanted to go for the aggressive move and not go for the recover. Plus, if he did recover, I'm still going to be doing a good amount of damage to the Porygon 2, and because I revealed to him that I had Horn Leech, he's probably thinking that I don't have the Wood Hammer, and that's why I really like running Horn Leech and Wood Hammer on Assault Vest Tapu Bulu, because as you see here, he's thinking he's going to be able to live another Horn Leech, but no, I'm going to pull out the Wood Hammer and I'm going to put down this Porygon 2, which is really good because that thing is stupidly bulky and way too hard to take down sometimes. So the Trick Room ends as in comes the Magearna. At this range of HP, I don't think I will be able to knock him out with the Wood Hammer, but I am going to go for the Horn Leech, expecting him to either want to go for the Trick Room or predicting me to switch out into my Skarmory, which honestly, he had no reason to Volt Switch. Now that I think about it, Trick Rooming was definitely his better play that he could have done here, although Flash Cannoning wouldn't have been a bad play either, and that aggressive play might have hurt me in the long run of the battle, but luckily he did go for the Trick Room, and now I'm expecting him to predict my switch into Skarmory, so I'm actually going to stay in here in hopes to be able to get off a little bit of extra damage with my Horn Leech, as he actually ends up going for the Flash Cannon, and I just barely live, and I will be able to go for the Horn Leech and bring myself back up to a pretty decent bit of HP. Not too high, but I still have a chance to win this battle if I can somehow bring in Tapu Bulu against the Magearna when Trick Room isn't up. At this range of HP, a Wood Hammer will definitely be able to knock him out, but I also need to be weary of my grassy terrain turns. So here I do switch back into my Skarmory, expecting him to just want to go for the Flash Cannon once more. As he does do that, that's really good for me because I will be able to chew this hit, stall another Trick Room turn, and because I am max SPDEF bulky Skarmory, there's no way that a Volt Switch is going to be able to knock me out, even if he is a quiet nature with max special attack, because he's got leftovers and not life orb or choice specs. And here was a bit of an odd turn. I could have either gone for the spikes or I could have gone for the Brave Bird, and ultimately I go for the Brave Bird on the off chance that he wanted to try and bring in the WiShiWashi, but he actually ends up bringing in the Marowak, which is really good for me because after Stealth Rocks and Brave Bird damage, he is 100% in range of where a Stone Edge from my Tapu Bulu will be able to clean knock him out. And if I hadn't gone for the Brave Bird and gone for the spikes instead, I believe I only had about a 60 to like 70% chance for Stone Edge to finish him off there. So I guess going for the Brave Bird wasn't that bad of a play because I do guarantee the KO with Stone Edge, although Spike still would have been pretty nice if I was able to get them up. And since Trick Room is down, I can bring in Tapu Bulu and he still has a chance to win. If I miss Stone Edge here, he can still win this battle. Plus, he still has Magearna, which I don't know if I live the recoil damage from Woodhammer. So I get a crit with the Stone Edge. Crit did not matter at all. At 50% or so, Stone Edge definitely knocked him out. But he actually ends up bringing in the WiShiWashi here, which was a bit of a misplay on his part, because now I will be able to outspeed this WiShiWashi and go for the Horn Leech, bringing me back up to a higher amount of HP and guaranteeing that I can live the Woodhammer recoil damage that I'm about to hit Magearna with. So odds have just shifted back into my favor and I'm in a really good spot right now. So in comes the Magearna. Here is the moment of truth of whether or not a Woodhammer is going to be able to knock out this Magearna. I am adamant max attack in grassy terrain and I'm able to knock out the Magearna. Now, as you're going to see, I take 26 points of recoil damage. And I was at 32 HP when he brought in the WiShiWashi, which means even if he had brought in the Magearna, I would have lived the recoil damage on like 6 HP if I'm not mistaken, and then I would have been able to still outspeed the WiShiWashi and knock it out with Horn Leech. So I guess at that point I pretty much secured the victory for me, being able to get off those extra Horn Leeches and keep my Tapu Bulu at a decent amount of HP. Really came in handy there. So this was definitely a lot tougher of a game than I expected, man. Trick Room just about really messed me up. So good game to Sandape, guys. Hopefully y'all did enjoy. Make sure to answer the question of the day and to hammer that like button down below. I really do appreciate all the great support, and thank you all for watching, guys. With that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.